Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dave Newman with you at Duchamp Field in Glen Ellen, Illinois, where the Oak Park Huskies are about to kick off about to receive from the Glenbard West hitters here at homecoming at Glenbard West High School. There, the pregame item that you saw was a long touchdown run by Tom Streitberger from 2 weeks ago when he gained 303 yards. Streitberger turned an ankle last week and did not perform in the ball game. Hilltoppers ready to kick off to Oak Park. There's the boot up in the air, coming down. Taken by Murphy Carroll, and he moves it up across to his own 30-yard line, and Oak Park will get good field position to start off here in the first quarter. The Huskies tied for second place in the West Suburban Conference Silver Division. They are 2-1, tied with Lyons Township, whom they beat 2 weeks ago. They trail Hinsdale Central and York by half a game. Glenbard West, coming into today's ball game, is in 6th place in the Silver Division. They have a 1-3 record. They're 3-3 overall. Brennan Keefe, the quarterback for Oak Park. He's got Marty Hart, number 33, and Aaron Harris, 32, in the backfield. Doug Amaya comes in motion to the near side. Long count, fakes the handoff, gives to Aaron Harris, cuts around the right side, and he doesn't get much there. He's stacked up around the 31-yard line. For short yardage, Rob Stenman in on the tackle. Ed Faulkner was right there to make a tackle. Both of these ball clubs known for their tough defense against the run, but then again, they both have strong running games and offense. So it'll be a 2nd down and 9 yards to go for Oak Park. Ball at about the 33-yard line. I would say number 14, Jason Mitchell at quarterback. Amaya comes in motion to the near side. Mitchell fakes the handoff, dropping back to pass, rushed by Jeff White, throws to the near side. It is juggled and dropped by Doug Amaya. Good coverage on the play by number 40, Kevin King. Doug Amaya comes into today's game, the number 7 receiver in the Chicago area, but good coverage there by Kevin King to break up the pass. So it'll be 3rd down and 9 for Oak Park. Ball still at the 33-yard line. Aaron Harris picking up 1 yard on the first play, then an incompletion. Brings up a 3rd down situation for the Huskies. Now it's Brennan Keefe in the shotgun formation as Oak Park is switching quarterbacks and alternate plays. Keefe dropping back to throw. Heavy rush by Glenbard West, sprinting out to the near side. He's out to the 30. He'll keep it. He'll cuts upfield and dives across to the 35-yard line. But Jeff White making the tackle for a gain of only 2 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down. And Oak Park will have to punt away the football. The Huskies came into this year's action ranked number 1 in the Chicago area, but they lost a couple weeks ago to Downers Grove North, dropped down to number 9 in the polls, took some pressure off Oak Park. One of the main reasons for their number 1 ranking was the defense. They have been sporadic on offense. They're trying to gain some consistency. They've had a solid running attack, but they're looking for some consistency in the passing game. Back to punt will be Oak Park's Doug Amaya. There's the boot, short kick coming to the near side. Bounces just inside the 40-yard line, and Oak Park will let it roll. It goes inside down near the 22-yard line where it is down there by Murphy Carroll. So Glenbard West will get the ball 1st and 10 to go at their own 22-yard line. This will be the first drive for the hitters.
44-yard punt.
A 44-yard boot by Doug Amaya. Amaya does just about everything for Oak Park. Plays linebacker as a receiver, punts, kicks extra points. Does just about everything but play in the band at halftime. Jay Carr behind the center. He'll start at quarterback. Coming into the motion is Jay Stefani on the near side. He's got Streitberger and Zurawski in the backfield. Pitch to Streitberger. Comes around the near side. Streitberger hit as he gets to the line of scrimmage. Is knocked down. And not sure who made the tackle at this point, but he gained.
Done by number 22.
Eric Stanley, number 22, came up to make the tackle out of the backfield. Eric Stanley, the starting free safety for the Huskies. Call it a gain of maybe a yard for Streitberger. Remember, Tom Streitberger gained 303 yards 2 weeks ago, but last week was out as he turned his ankle on the very first play of the ball game. So this is really his first appearance since that big game against LT 2 weeks ago. In motion is Stefani to the far side. Jay Carr pitching back to Streitberger. Streitberger going to throw. Fires over the middle outfield. He's got Stefani. Stefani makes the grab and drops the ball at the 40 as he tried a backward somersault catch, but he just couldn't hold on as he caught the ball, but the impact hitting the ground jarred it loose. Well, Glenbard West coming out with a trick play, and it almost worked for a big gain, but it goes as an incompletion. Tommy Streitberger threw a nice pass, lofted it over the secondary. Stefani had his man beat by a couple of steps, and almost a big gainer for Glenbard West. Well, both of these teams, as we mentioned, have good defenses against the run, and that means that we'll see some passing plays where normally both teams would run the ball. Try to throw the defense off balance. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 9. Backs are split. Jaeger and Streitberger in the backfield. Carr calls the signals. Dropping back, he's going to throw a heavy rush, throwing to the near side, and it is almost caught and over the head of Jeff White, incomplete. So that brings up a 4th down for Glenbard West, and they will have to punt on their first possession. Well, both teams now with 1 yard offensively, actually 2 yards for Glenbard West. Back to punt will be Jay Stefani. Back deep to receive. It'll be number 29, Quaison Crosby. There's the boot. Crosby moving to his right, moving to his left, grabs at the 45. He's across midfield, down inside the 45-yard line of Glenbard West, where Jaeger is there to wrap him up for the tackle. Zurawski made the initial stop. And also in on that was Scott Wagner, number 22. Oak Park gets the ball at their 44-yard line of Glenbard West.
33-yard kick and 11-yard return.
33-yard punt for Stefani and an 11-yard return for Quaison Crosby. So Brennan Keefe comes in at quarterback for Oak Park as they line up at the 44-yard line of Glenbard West. In the slot to the near side is Doug Amaya. Fakes the hand up to Marty Hart, dropping back to throw, running out to the far side, throwing long downfield. It is caught by Chesney as he grabs it at the 12-yard line. Craig Chesney, number 15, making the catch. And on the coverage for Glenbard West, number 31, Brian Sweet, who is starting at the left cornerback position today in place of the Tom Streitberger, who, even though he is starting at the running back spot, is not really 100%. So they're only letting him play on offense. So Brian Sweet, a junior, will get his first start of the year at left cornerback. And there he was beaten by Craig Chesney for a big gain. 1st down and 10 for the Oak Park Huskies. Ball just outside the 10-yard line, call it the 11. Now Jason Mitchell in a quarterback, throwing to the goal line, diving over for the touchdown. Number 41, Steve Dudley, making the catch as once again they throw to the left side. And Dudley dived over right at the flag at the goal line and just barely got in for the touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown pass from Jason Mitchell to Dudley. 7:46 left to go in the first quarter. And now Oak Park will try for the extra point.
44-yard drive and 2 plays.
It's a 44-yard drive, 2 plays, and they will go for the 2-point conversion. Brennan Keefe in at quarterback. They got 3 men in the backfield. Fakes the handoff to Aaron Harris, throwing into the end zone. It is caught and dropped by Dudley, so they do not get the conversion. But instead, it's a 6-0 lead for Oak Park. We've got 7:46 left to go in the first quarter. We'll be back right after this on Group W Cable. And we're back as Oak Park is getting set. They will kick off to the Glenbard West hitters. There you see the huddle there now. Apparently calling for a man to come in from the sidelines. Making a couple substitutions. A 44-yard touchdown drive on only 2 plays, 2 passes. The touchdown was an 11-yard scoring pass from Jason Mitchell to Steve Dudley. And they missed the make that to Dudley. They tried to get the pass to Dudley on the extra point for the 2-point conversion. Did not work. Now Doug Amaya gets his team lined up as Amaya will be set to kick off. Back deep for the hitters. We've got number 33, that's John Lloyd, and he is flanked by number 24, Zurawski, and number 41, Jay Stefani. Amaya gets set, approaching the tee. There's the boot by the left-handed kicker. Comes down at the 30, bounces over the head of Jaeger. It is picked up there at the 25-yard line. Running up the middle of the field is Zurawski. Zurawski out across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Zurawski approximately 21 yards on that kickoff return by Tom Zurawski as he sets up good field position for Glenbard West. They are at the 42-yard line. Jay Carr comes into the huddle for Glenbard West, the hitters. They're down 6-0. This is their homecoming. Obviously, they want to look good today in front of the full crowd here at Dushan Field. Good turnout on the visitors' side. There, as you see in the background, the Oak Park fans. Now Jay Carr wants a little more time. Officials timeout. And the officials have called timeout for some reason as there is an equipment adjustment on the Oak Park backfield. Number 22, that's Eric Stanley, the free safety. Looks like he had a slight equipment adjustment. Now the whistle blows. Clock has started again. 7:16 and counting here remaining in the first quarter as Jay Carr brings his hitters up to the line for their second offensive series. Jay Stefani in motion to the far side. There's the pitch coming to Streitberger on the near side. Turns the corner at the 40, the 45. It is hit solidly. Murphy Carroll, number 82, buried Streitberger at the 47-yard line after a pickup of about 6 yards. Murphy Carroll nailed Streitberger. It was like running into a brick wall. He ran right into Carroll, and Carroll dropped him immediately to the turf. He is about at the 47 or 48-yard line, we will call it.
Is there a flag on? There's a flag on the play.
There is a flag on the play. It is illegal procedure against the Glenbard West hitters, so that gain will be nullified. So the play will come back. It'll still be first down, but the first and about 15 yards to go. They will march it back to the 36-yard line. A nice run there by Streitberger and a real hard hit by Murphy Carroll. And that will not go into the stat book, even though these fans saw it here today. So Jay Carr brings out the hitters. First down, 15 at the 36-yard line. Streitberger and Zurawski line up in the backfield. Tight end to the near side is Jeff White. Now there appears to be some confusion. The officials talking right over the ball. There's some confusion over where the ball is spotted. Now a derisive cheer goes up as the officials give Glenbard another yard. It's about at the 37, they call it. They had a little trouble spotting the football. First and 15. Stefani slot to the left. Now he comes in motion to the near side. Jay Carr calling out the signals. Carr handing off to Zurawski. Zurawski slices off left tackle, gets up near the 39 or 40 for a short gain. Right up the middle, there was
taken down by number 66, Patrick Long.
Patrick Long, number 66, in on the tackle. A couple other white jerseys were there as well.
I think about 3 yards on the play, brings up second.
They give a 3-yard gain for Zurawski. Second down and 12 for the hitters. The ball is just about at the 40-yard line. Now the hitters break the huddle. They'll come back at the 40. Streitberger and Zurawski line up, split backfield. Wide to the left side is Scott Wagner. Stefani in motion coming to the near side. Now Carr rolling out to his right. Carr and the keeper. Carr at the 40. Carr is tackled from behind. He is tripped up at number 53. Gets him near the 45. Number 53, Matt McDermott, grabbed his ankles from behind, and Carr slid forward to near the 45-yard line. And that's where they'll put it. A pickup of about 5 yards on the play.
Third and 7, taken down by number 50.
Well, Jay Carr dropped back, faked a pass, and came rolling out to the near side and tucked the ball under his arm for the keeper. Now number 42, Chris Holtquist coming in. And Wagner leads the ball game as Glenbard West continues to shuttle in plays with their flankers. Stefani will line up. Holtquist will be wide to the left side. Stefani will be slot left. Streitberger, Zurawski in the backfield. White tight into the near side, and now there's a delay of game coming up. There's a flag thrown in the Glenbard West backfield, a delay of game called on the hitters, so they'll lose 5 more. Penalties hurting Glenbard West on this second offensive series. Now for Oak Park, a substitution as number 71, Greg Slack, leaves the ball game. And they bring in number 84, Sean Lawrence, an extra defensive back, as they expect Glenbard West to come out throwing.
A loss of 5 yards on the penalty, brings up third and 12.
Scott Wagner wide to the left. Once again, they line up Stefani in the slot to that side. Streitberger and Zurawski in the backfield. Stefani comes in motion. Hand off to the second man through. That is Streitberger. Streitberger plows across the middle, puts his head down, gets up near the 44-yard line. He is brought down by Tracy Rice for Oak Park. So it's 4th down in a punting situation as Glenbard West will kick away the football for the second time this afternoon. Jay Stefani standing at his 31-yard line. Back deep for Oak Park, they have 2 men. Number 22, Eric Stanley, and number 29, Quaison Crosby. There's the kick. High, booming kick taken out by Stanley at his 29-yard line. Stanley cuts to the middle of the field, angles out near the 35-yard line. Pickup of nearly 5 on the play. And number 65 on Glenbard West, Andy Alcorn, making the tackle, making the initial stop, but there were 2 other green jerseys there to help out.
27-yard punt, 5-yard return.
A 27-yard punt for Jay Stefani, 5-yard return. 35-yard line is where Oak Park will take over. Brennan Keefe is back at quarterback. 3 men in the backfield as they have a full house offense. Dropping back is Keefe to throw. Heavy rush, throwing long down the left side of this. Intended for Amaya. It is off his hands and juggled and dropped. Just overthrown. On the coverage, number 31, Brian Sweet, the left quarterback. Well, they've been throwing on their last 3 plays to that left side, trying to attack the junior Brian Sweet, and he came up strong on that play as he had Amaya very well covered. Now Jason Mitchell is in. Mitchell was the starting quarterback this year for Oak Park in the first game, but in the first quarter he hurt the little finger on his right hand throwing a block and has been out for most of the season on offense. Brennan Keefe, the starting quarterback last year, has played most of the season this year for Oak Park. Now Jason Mitchell drops back to throw, looking over the middle, fires down the left side. It has Amaya, but he overthrows him at the 50-yard line. Amaya was triple teamed on that play, and it looked like he had a little running room, but the pass was just overthrown, and we've got a 3rd and 10 situation. Well, they're throwing to Amaya, sending him out to his right, attacking that left quarterback spot, and on this play they had 2 linebackers moving along with Amaya to help out cornerback Brian Sweet, but on the first play of the series, Brian Sweet was all by his lonesome, did a good job of defending Doug Amaya. Now they've got Dudley split out to the right side, Amaya lining up at tight end. The shotgun formation, it's Brennan Keefe. He's throwing to the near side now, and he grabs Amaya, but he drops the ball. Doug Amaya was all alone in midfield, and he took his eyes off the ball. He turned around and started to look where he was going to run, but he drops it for an incomplete pass. So 3 straight incompletions bring up a 4th and 10, and Oak Park will have to punt. 3 minutes, 23 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Oak Park on top 6-0. Now Doug Amaya standing back at his 18-yard line. He will punt the ball. Jay Stefani and it's like number 33, Mel Jager, is back. The left-footed punter gets into it, kicks it to the near sideline. It comes out of bounds at the 40-yard line. There will be no return as the ball will be square at the 40. Glenbard West will take over 1st and 10 on their 3rd offensive series.
25-yard.
A 25-yard punt for Oak Park. There you see the offensive huddle for Glenbard West, trying to get things started on offense. They have tried to use the running game, and it has not been all that effective, but then penalties have hurt Glenbard West on offense. And an illegal motion. They've had a delay of game call, which stalled them on their last drive. Stefani slot to the left. Hultquist is wide to the left side. Jay Carr drops back to throw. He's got some time. Now he's buried under the heavy rush as and the tackle, number 68, Tracy Rice, number 63, Tom Tulipano also in there for the sack. That's the first sack of the ball game.
A loss of 5 yards on the play brings up 2nd and 15.
So 1 sack for the Oak Park defense. They have a very good pass rush. Now, of course, last week against York, they were in the backfield all day against Valaika. And they ended up a couple of sacks last week for Amaya alone last Saturday against York. So it'll be a 2nd down and 15, loss of 5 on the play. In motion to the far side goes Stefani. Now Carr pitching it to Streitberger, tries to run around left tackle. He is submarined by number 53 on defense. That is Matt McDermott. McDermott came charging out of that left linebacker spot, and he took the legs right under Streitberger for a loss of 3 yards. Make a loss of 2, 3rd down and 17. Chris Holtquist coming in with a new play, and leaving is Scott Wagner, number 22 for Glenbard West. An obvious passing situation right now for the hitters. Jay Carr walks it up. 3-4 defense. Looks like Oak Park getting ready to blitz here. Jay Carr drops back to throw. He's under a heavy rush. Jay Carr running for his life. Jay Carr sprinting out to the 40-yard line, to the sideline. 45. He's up to the 50, and he is hammered as he crosses midfield down to about the 47-yard line. Good enough for the first down for Glenbard West. Well, there was a heavy rush as Oak Park threw in everybody but the kitchen sink on the pass rush, but Jay Carr managed to weave his way through traffic and got all the way down to the 47-yard line. A nice pickup there for the Glenbard West Hilltoppers. Now number 51 for Oak Park, Chris Ledbetter, leaving the ball game. Also the extra defensive back, number 84, Sean Lawrence, takes a walk to the bench. Lining up in their center 4-3. There's a hand up to Streitberger over the left side. Big hole, and he gets into the backfield. Streitberger knifes his way up to the 42-yard line. Greg Slacken on the tackle. Jason Mitchell coming up to help from the backfield. And also number 53, Matt McDermott right there. But a nice gain of about, they're giving him 6 yards for Streitberger as they open up a hole off right guard and tackle. They're trying to run right at Oak Park instead of trying to run the sweeps that they tried earlier in the ball game. That has seemed to work for a couple of good gains here on this drive. Zurawski and Streitberger in the backfield. Stefani comes in motion to the near side. Jay Carr hands off to the first man through. Zurawski spins away from one man, gets out near the 41-yard line. Not much of a gain, if anything. And Tulipano made the tackle, number 63 for Oak Park. Gave him maybe a yard. 3rd and 3, they call it. It is just outside the 40, call it near the 41. They have to get to the 38-yard line of Oak Park for the first. 3rd and 3. Stefani comes in motion again to the near side. Handoff goes to Streitberger. He is hammered in the backfield. And Murphy Carroll nailed him in the backfield with some help from Tom Tulipano on the very last play of the first quarter. They ended up losing about a yard on the play. Murphy Carroll, a jarring hit, knocked Streitberger off balance for a loss of 1. But at the end of the first quarter, the score, Oak Park 6, Glenbard West nothing. We'll be back with more Glenbard football on Group W Cable.
Hi, I'm Bob Dorian, host of an exciting new cable service called American Movie Classics, inviting you to discover the magic of Hollywood's most memorable movies and legendary...
And our statistician Craig Lynch has reported that Oak Park has 46 yards total offense unofficially. Glenbard West only 29. Each team with only 1 first down in the first quarter. Tom Streitberger, 5 carries for 8 yards. As we start the second quarter, Jay Stefani will be set to punt. Gets it away from his 49-yard line. High, booming kick is bouncing out of bounds on the right sideline. It comes down at the 18 or 19, depending where they spot it. They will give it to the 19-yard line. Now they call it the 18. 24-yard punt for Jay Stefani, as Oak Park will take over. 1st and 10 to go at their own 19-yard line. This is the worst field position of the day for Oak Park at their 19. First time they've been inside their 20-yard line. Now in at quarterback is Brennan Keefe. Once again, a full house offense. There are 3 men in the backfield. Keefe gives it to Hart. His first carry of the day. Hart twisting and turning, gets across the 20, maybe to the 21-yard line.
Hart takes it up the middle.
And
is stopped by a host of hitters.
A lot of green jerseys in there on the tackle. Jeff Klein, number 63, was one of them.
Jeff Klein was in on that stop. Brings up 2nd and 8.
2nd down and 8 as they give Hart 2 yards on his very first carry of the ball game. Once again, 3 men in the backfield. You've got Hart, Harris, and Amaya. Now Jason Mitchell in at quarterback. Mitchell calling out the signals. Amaya in motion. Hand off to Aaron Harris, the second man through, and he is grabbed by Ed Faulkner as he gets across the line of scrimmage. But Harris manages to lunge out to the 25-yard line. So Oak Park trying to grind it out on the ground. They've gone with their passing game for their first couple series, and now they're seriously trying to move it on the ground against this Glenbard West defense. 3rd down and 5 yards to go. Harris and Hart in the backfield. Fakes a pass. Brennan Keefe throwing to the near side, intended for Dudley, and it drops incomplete. Nice coverage there by John Lloyd, number 33, on the near side. So it's an incompletion. We'll have a 4th and 5 situation. And once again, Oak Park will be forced to punt away the football. On their first drive, Oak Park had to punt. Then the second drive, they came back with a 2-play touchdown drive. An 11-yard scoring pass to Dudley. Now Doug Amaya drops back to pass, and there is a timeout called by Oak Park as there is some confusion on offense, as they appeared to be a man short on the punting team. Now number 82, Murphy Carroll, comes in, joins the huddle. So they'll be punting with a 4th and 6 situation. The ball is at the 25-yard line. There you see the full stands on the Glenbard West side. It's homecoming today in Glen Ellen, and everybody's out. A lot of the alumni here for some class reunions. Beautiful afternoon here at Dushan Field. It's quite a contrast to what we saw 2 weeks ago against Lyons Township when we had the muddy field. Incidentally, 2 weeks ago, Ron Kreck, number 73, hurt his knee on the very last extra point of that ball game, and he is out for the season.
That's one of the things that high school sports really does need. That is,
Ron Kreck did a very good job this year on the offensive line as a guard and also one of the top linebackers in the area. So they will definitely miss Ron Kreck. Mike Schulte, number 77, is replacing Kreck on the defense. As you see him at the left outside linebacker position. Doug Amaya getting ready to punt the ball away. 2 men deep for Glenbard West. John Lloyd and Jay Stefani back to receive. Amaya has it, kicks it away from about his 10-yard line. End over end punt, drops at the 48-yard line. On the bounce of Stefani, and he is nailed. Jay Stefani picked up the ball at the 48-yard line, and he was hammered immediately.
Jay Stefani taken down by number 71, Greg Slack.
Doug Slack, number 71, in there to make the initial hit. And he really put Jay Stefani into the turf hard.
27 yards.
27-yard punt for Oak Park.
The hitter will take over.
First down and 10 for Glenbard West at their own 47-yard line. Holtquist will line up wide to the near side. Tight end is Jeff White on the far side, strong side right. Streitberger and number 30, Kevin Cashman in the backfield. There's the pitch to Streitberger, looking for running room, coming to the near side, and he is taken down out of bounds at midfield.
Streitberger knocked out of bounds by
number 82, Murphy Carroll, is there, and Eric Stanley, number 22, to push Streitberger out of bounds. Pickup of 3. It'll be a 2nd down and 7 at midfield for Glenbard West. Now Scott Wagner, number 22, checks into the ballgame at flanker. Chris Holtquist leaving as Coach Jim Covert sending in another play from the bench. 2nd down, 7 yards to go for the hitters. Here you get a good view of the line of scrimmage. Lining up in a 3-4 defense is Oak Park. Jay Carr behind quarterback, Stefani in motion. Jay Carr pitching it back to Cashman. He's going to throw. The left-hander fires downfield, and he overthrows the intended receiver, Jay Stefani, who was double covered around the 20. Well, that's the second time we saw the halfback option play, as Streitberger threw one early in the ball game, and number 30, Kevin Cashman, a left-hander, fired downfield, but he overshot the intended man, Jay Stefani. That makes it 3rd down and 7 for Glenbard West. Well, they're trying to throw the Oak Park defense off balance. They tried to establish the running game, and now the halfback option, hoping to catch the defensive backfield off guard on the pass, slightly overthrown. 3rd down for the hitters. 7 yards to go. Hand off to Streitberger, twisting and turning across midfield, and he's down near the 45-yard line. So he'll be short of the first by about 2 yards. That'll bring up a 4th and 2 situation.
Number 71, Greg Slack.
Greg Slack made the tackle for Oak Park. 4th and 2. And that means that Glenbard West will have to punt.
He's averaged 25 yards a kick, Stefani.
Stefani has been averaging about 25 yards a punt so far this afternoon. Stefani standing at his own 42-yard line. Takes the high snap. There's the kick, almost blocked by Amaya. A line drive punt hits at the 20 on the bounce, taken there by Crosby. Quaison Crosby moving laterally, and he's dropped there at the 15-yard line. Number 24, Zurawski, making the tackle for Glenbard West at the 15-yard line.
33 yards.
A 33-yard kick, and that is above his average this afternoon. Tom Streitberger doing the punting. Jeff White had been the punter earlier in the season for Glenbard West, but Stefani has been taking over the chores as of late. Oak Park will take over 1st and 10 at their own, call it about the 16-yard line. Stefani, the number 4 punter in the West Suburban Conference Silver, averaging 36.6 yards a kick in conference play. Brennan Keefe at quarterback, pitching back to Hart. Hart moving to the left side, and he's carrying about 3 green jerseys on his back, maybe for a yard or 2.
Marty Hart taking down.
Marty Hart for a very short gain,
2-yard gain.
maybe 2 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Jeff White, number 86,
Jeff White made the stop.
making the stop along with some help. Well, Marty Hart has been the workhorse this year for Oak Park after being a blocking back for virtually all of last year. Hart, a 6-footer, 204-pound senior. Now Jason Mitchell steps in as quarterback for Oak Park as they continue to alternate on almost every play. Amaya in motion. Now he comes back to the near side. There's a pitch out to Aaron Harris, turning the corner. He has a couple of blocks. Harris across the 25. He's now stopped at the 20, at the 36.
Number 86, Jeff White.
Jeff White there on the tackle at the 26-yard line. Aaron Harris weaving his way through traffic, picks up the 1st down for Oak Park. That's only their second first down of the afternoon. So the Huskies on the move. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. That's the biggest gain of the day for Aaron Harris.
The biggest rushing gain of the day for each team.
In fact, it's the biggest rushing gain for either team this afternoon. Harris and Hart in the backfield. Brennan Keefe back at quarterback. Keefe calling out the signals. Taking his time. Amaya in motion. Hand off to the second man through. That's Marty Hart. Hart lunging out across the 30 near the 35-yard line.
Number 71, Ed Volkner.
Ed Volkner making the stop, but Marty Hart dragged a man for about a yard. Big fullback just puts his head down and bulls his way forward. Gain of 7 yards on the play for Hart. Dudley lining up at the tight end spot to the near side. Chesney on the far side. Amaya slot to the right in motion. Harrison Hart in the backfield. Handoff. Now he fakes the handoff. Jason Mitchell back to pass under heavy rush, throwing downfield. And the catch is almost made. Incomplete at the Doug Amaya. Incomplete receiver Jay Stefani on the coverage. Amaya had his hands on the ball, but a jarring hit from Stefani from behind at the 45-yard line knocked it loose for an incompletion. That brings up a 3rd and 3 situation for Oak Park. There you see the offensive huddle for the Huskies. Well, they've had some success with their passing game, but on this drive, they've decided to grind it out on the ground. Full house backfield, Dudley, Hart, and Harris. Amaya tight on the near side, fakes the handoff, is Brennan Keefe, and he is hammered in the backfield for a sack. There were 3 players coming in, but number 77, Mike Schulte, gets credit for the sack as he touched him. So that's the first sack of the afternoon for the Glenbard West hitters, with 6:42 left to play in the first half. There were 3 green jerseys in the backfield for Glenbard West as they were expecting a short pass, and that's what they were going to get. Now Doug Amaya back to punt. There's an official's timeout. Back to receive for Glenbard West will be John Lloyd and Jay Stefani. Now the officials are talking to a couple players on the defensive line of Glenbard West. And the clock has started once again. Doug Amaya standing at his 10-yard line. Getting set to punt. Stefani and Lloyd are the deep men. There's a low snap. Picks it off the ground at the 10. Amaya gets his foot in the ball. High booming kick, but it's a short one. It bounces at the 46. Takes a Glenbard West bounce back inside the 40. And Murphy Carroll bats it down there at about the 37-yard line. So a very short punt.
2 yard.
The hitters will take over 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
That amounts to only a 2-yard punt. So that's the shortest kick probably of the whole season for Doug Amaya. Net 2 yards. So Glenbard West gets the ball in their best field position of the afternoon. They're at the 37-yard line. Hitter fans now starting to cheer. They want some action here. Oak Park leads 6-0 with just under 6 minutes to play. There's a handoff to Tom Streitberger. Lunges it out inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line.
Taken down by number 82.
Tom Streitberger picking up about 4 yards on the play.
He has 8 carries, 19 yards.
Picked up 3 yards on the play. Brings up
He's got
2nd and 7.
19 yards rushing so far this afternoon for Tommy Streitberger. Glenbard West on the move. Streitberger, the number 1 rusher in the West Suburban Conference in the Silver Division. 415 yards on 51 carries in conference play coming into today. Handoff to Zurawski. Tries off right guard and tackle for a couple, but he is stacked up there.
Tom Zurawski with the carry, taken down by number 63, Tom Tulipano.
Tom Tulipano in there on the tackle. There'll be a 3rd down and about 5 for Glenbard West. The ball is at the 32-yard line.
Brings up
32
3rd
or
and
33.
5.
Hitters break the huddle. They only have 1 first down this afternoon. They would need another here, trying to mount a scoring drive. They took over possession at the 37-yard line after that 2-yard punt. Stefani in motion. There's the pitch out to Streitberger, coming around the near side. Streitberger inside the 30, down near the 25-yard line. And he'll have the first down. Number 82, Murphy Carroll, shoved him out of bounds. Eric Stanley, number 22, in there for some help. But the second first down of the day for Glenbard West. And a big cheer goes up for the hometown fans as they will reset the chains on the sideline. The ball is at the 25-yard line. Tom Streitberger picking up a big first down for Glenbard West. They're hoping that this will be a scoring drive. They're down only 6-0. First down and 10 yards to go. Zurawski and Streitberger in the split backfield. Stefani in motion on the near side. And it looked like offside on the defense as number 63, Tom Tulipano, jumped offside before the count. And that's a big break for Glenbard West. That's the first penalty of the ball game for Oak Park. So that'll bring it 1st and 5 now for Glenbard West. There's 4:35 left to play in the first half. 1st and 5. The ball is at the 20-yard line. Glenbard West on the move. They have picked up a first down. And now an additional 5 yards here because of an offside penalty on Tom Tulipano of Oak Park. They'll line it up at the 20. Jay Carr calls out the signals. Zurawski and Streitberger in the backfield. Stefani in motion to the far side. There's the pitch out to Streitberger. He's got some blocking in front of him. Streitberger turns the corner at the 15. And he is grabbed by the ankle by number 22, Eric Stanley. And Tom Tulipano, number 63, also in on the tackle. But the ball is down inside the 15. Make that out to the 16-yard line. Got inside the 20. 4-yard gain. Call it 2nd down and 1 for Glenbard West. Even though it's been a short drive, it's been the best drive of the day for the hitters. Best position they've been in all afternoon. They're at the 16-yard line. Jeff White lining up at tight end to the left side. Zurawski and Streitberger in the backfield. Stefani in motion. Hand up to Streitberger on a draw play up the middle. Streitberger lunging out over the middle of the 10-yard line. First down for Glenbard West as he blew right past Murphy Carroll, who lost his helmet on the play. A very quick opener over the middle. And Tommy Streitberger picks up a big first down for Glenbard West. That's the second first down on this drive. They have the ball first down and goal at the 10-yard line. The ball is right on the 10. Jay Carr looks over the defense, calling out the signals. Pitches to Streitberger the near side, gets a nice block there by Stedman, but Streitberger falls down in the backfield. He is tripped up by Eric Stanley, who came blitzing from the free safety position for a loss of 4 yards on the play.
4 yards on the play brings up 2nd and 14.
So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 14. Nice block on the near side by number 50, Rob Stedman, a pulling guard. But it was not enough as Eric Stanley shot through from the free safety position to tackle Streitberger in the backfield. Now Jay Carr talking again to the men in the backfield, Zurawski and Streitberger. In motion is Jay Stefani. Rolling out to his right is Carr. Carr on the keeper, breaks upfield, twisting away from one man, and he gets down near the 11-yard line.
Jay Carr up the middle with the keeper.
Greg Slack, number 71, made the initial stop.
Picks up 3 yards, brings up
Gain of
third
3,
and 11 for
but
the
it's still
touchdown.
3rd and goal from the 11-yard line.
3rd and goal.
Well, the hitters cannot get a first down. It's either score or nothing. Holtzquist comes back in at the flanker spot, replacing Scott Wagner, number 22, as Covert sends in another play. 3rd and goal from the 11 for the hitters. This is the big play right here. Fakes the hand up to Streitberger. Carr rolling out to the near side. He's got some blocking, throws it in the end zone. In the corner, it is overthrown out of bounds for an incompletion.
Jay Carr's pass.
The intended receiver was number 86, Jeff White, in the corner of the end zone, but Quaison Crosby and Eric Stanley on the double coverage for Oak Park. So now it's 4th and goal. Double coverage, and Jay Carr saw that White was covered. He simply threw it away out of bounds.
Timeout.
And there's a timeout called for Oak Park.
Oak Park, River Forest.
With a minute 56 left in the half, Oak Park going to call timeout, hoping to maybe mount a short drive of their own just before halftime.
Maybe try to ice the field goal kicker.
So now the Glenbard West hitters will be trying a field goal as Jason Duke, number 12, the holder, comes in.
And the freshman 18 defeated.
It's a 6-0 lead for Oak Park with 1:56 left. There you see the cheerleader squad for Glenbard West. It's homecoming today, and they had the homecoming festivities with the floats between the sophomore and the varsity game. There you see the homecoming court for Glenbard West. Well, the hitters will be trying a field goal. They will try to cut the lead in half to make it 6-3 if they can.
28 yards.
It will be. The ball will be snapped from the 12-yard line. And Jason Duke will hold it at his 19. Streitberger getting ready. He'll try a 29-yard field goal attempt. The kick is up. It's a line drive kick. And it is no good as it's wide to the left side.
The 29-yard field goal attempt is
So with
wide.
1 minute and 52 seconds left to play in the first half, it is Oak Park 6, Glenbard West nothing.
0.
And Oak Park will take over on downs as the hitters miss really what has been their only scoring opportunity of the afternoon. Huskies in a 6-0 lead, and they've got the ball. They're deep in their own territory. The ball will come back to the 20-yard line. Oak Park probably will be trying to move it down the field, maybe get in field goal position if they can. They have a minute 52 to do it. Brennan Keefe at quarterback, full house offense for the Huskies. Amaya, Hart, and Harris in the backfield. Now Amaya going into motion. There's the pitch back to Aaron Harris coming to the near side. He's got some running room, and he cuts out across the 25-yard line. Ed Faulkner, number 71, and John Lloyd in on the tackle as Harris carries out to about the 27-yard line. I got a 26. About 2nd down and 4, a gain of 6 on the play for Aaron Harris. Clock continues to roll with 1:27, and now a timeout, officials timeout.
Officials timeout.
As number 71, Ed Faulkner, makes an equipment adjustment, ties his shoe. And the clock has started once again. 1:25 and counting left to play here in the first half. Oak Park with the football on the move. Now Jason Mitchell steps in as quarterback. He's got Hart and Harris in the backfield. Jason Mitchell drops back. He's going to throw. He's got plenty of time, throwing across the middle of the field, and it is caught. And John Lloyd making the tackle at the 40. Craig Chesney makes the grab at the 40-yard line for the first down for Oak Park. And the officials stop the clock as they move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line for Oak Park. There's 1 minute exactly to play in the first half. Brennan Keefe standing in the shotgun position. There's only one man in the backfield. That's Marty Hart. Keefe going to throw. He's standing at his 20, throwing downfield and missing Doug Amaya for an incompletion. Doug Amaya pulled up short and stopped at the 45. And Brennan Keefe fired ahead of him, and almost on the interception was Jeff White and Kevin King right there on the coverage. And it looks like the quarterback and the receiver did not have the same route call, or at least a little confusion there. Stops the clock with 43 seconds left. 2nd down and 10. In the shotgun formation now, Jason Mitchell. Mitchell back to throw, standing at his own 30, throwing long downfield, intended for Amaya, overthrown, incomplete. Doug Amaya backpedaling near the 30-yard line, but the ball was about 5 yards in front of him. So there's 38 seconds to play, and we've got a 3rd and 10. Well, the passing game has been inconsistent for Oak Park as they've tried to go deep a few times. They were successful on that touchdown drive, that 44-yard drive in 2 plays.
Total 3 for 11 for 72.
3 for 11 in passing for 72 yards. That's total combined, Mitchell and Brennan Keefe. Now Keefe comes in at quarterback. Keefe handing off to Aaron Harris. Harris across the 45. He is stopped at the 48-yard line. And on the tackle, Rob Stenman in on the tackle, along with help from Jeff White and Sweet, as 3 players combined to bring down Harris at the 48-yard line.
Brings up 4th down.
It'll be 4th down and about 3 yards to go. 10 seconds left, and now the officials stop the clock as the Oak Park Huskies will use their 3rd and final timeout. There's 9 seconds left to play as the Huskies use their last timeout. There you see the huddle for the Oak Park Ball Club.
Correction on the stats, 58 yards passing.
58 yards passing for Oak Park on the afternoon. They're at the 48-yard line, 52 yards away. Obviously, they're well out of field goal range, and with 9 seconds left, there's not much they can do except hope to throw deep and go for the touchdown. Time for about 1 more play. Brennan Keefe will be in at quarterback. That's the defense for Glenbard West. They will try to stop this last drive. They'll be content to go into the locker room down by 6 points. Huskies break the huddle. They've got Craig Chesney wide to the left side. Aaron Harris lining up wide to the near side. Tight end Amaya. Brennan Keefe in the backfield in the shotgun. Takes the high snap, back pedals inside his 40, throwing long to the near side. He's got Amaya, but intercepted by Glenbard West. It is intercepted by number 31, Brian Sweet. Brian Sweet makes the interception with 2 seconds left on the clock. And a big hand for the junior cornerback, Brian Sweet, making his first start, replacing Streitberger on defense. Well, they've been trying to pick on Sweet all day, and there he came up with a big interception to stop what would have been a long gain. The intended receiver was Doug Amaya.
It's as good as a punt anyway.
It is picked up at the 20, and Glenbard West will not get a playoff as the half ends with the score. Oak Park 6, Glenbard West nothing. Big cheer from the hometown fans. We'll be back with second half action on Group W Cable.
Halfway there.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, the Glenbard West Theater Department Club presents the play You Can't Take It With You. Start time at 8 p.m. all three nights.
On field as Doug Amaya gets set to kick off here for the second half. There's the boot up in the air, taken by Zurawski at his 10-yard line. Zurawski plows straight ahead, runs into some traffic at the 25, and he is brought down there out near the 26-yard line.
It's taken down by number 40.
So Glenbard West down by 6 points will start their first drive here of the second half. Ball is at the 26-yard line. Well, looking at the first half stats, Glenbard West gaining 60 yards, and it was all on the ground on 19 carries. They have 0 yards passing in 3 attempts. Tom Streitberger led the way, 12 carries for 32 yards. Jay Carr over the center at quarterback. I formation, Streitberger the deep man. There's the handoff to Streitberger. Moving out to the left side, and he is hit hard at the line of scrimmage. Number 41, Steve Dudley, in on the tackle.
Streitberger off the middle.
And he gained nothing on the play, maybe a couple inches, if that. Second down, and call it about
Second and
10.
The ball is at the 26-yard line.
Gained only 6 inches on the play. Glenbard West has had a hard time grinding it out on the ground. Although Oak Park has been not all that effective, they only have 24 yards rushing. 28 for Harris, 8 for Hart, but they lost some yardage on a sack, a 12-yard sack by Schulte. There's the pitch back to Streitberger. Streitberger tucks the ball under on the near side, turns the corner at the 30, breaks the tackle, gets out to the 35-yard line, and he is tackled there by number 77, Rich Glure. Gets out to about the 35-yard line. Some good blocking in the middle for Glenbard West. Third down, 2 yards to go for the Hilltoppers. Mel Jager comes in. Kevin Cashman, number 30, goes out. For Glenbard West, 3rd and 2. Hitters with only 3 first downs in the ball game. Jay Carr wipes off his hands. Gets set behind the center, Jeff Klein. And now there was some movement as number 68, that's Tracy Rice, it looked like jumped off sides, and that'll give Glenbard West a first down on a penalty. That's the second offside call against the defense this afternoon for Oak Park.
First down,
Well, that's what has hurt Oak Park this year on offense has been some penalties. That's what bogged them down in their only loss of the year to Downers Grove back on October 3rd. A lot of penalties, lack of intensity, and also Downers Grove North has been the only team, except for Glenbard West today, to really shut down the Oak Park rushing game. That resulted in Oak Park's only loss of the year. Stefani in motion to the near side. Carr dropping back. He's going to throw. Heavy rush, and he is sacked from behind by Doug Amaya for the second sack of the ball game for Oak Park. Doug Amaya came barreling in from the right linebacker spot and blindsided Jay Carr, brought him down to the 34-yard line. So that will be the second sack of the afternoon for the Huskies. Loss of 6 on the play, the first sack of this half. So a second down and 16 for Glenbard West. 20 yards total loss in sacks this afternoon. Jay Carr lines up, split backfield. Gives it to Streitberger, cuts over the middle, gets a nice block from, as he gets across the 40, there's a flag on the play. Nice block by Mel Jager, but there is a penalty, and that will probably come back. The flag was thrown in the offensive backfield of Glenbard West, and the referee now talking to number 82, Murphy Carroll, on the defense for Oak Park, so it's obviously against the Huskies. Now Carroll deciding whether or not to accept that penalty.
They will accept it. They call in
It was a fairly short gain on the play, but they're going to accept the penalty, and that'll move them deep into Glenbard West territory. So the Hilltoppers, illegal block below the waist. The ball is about the 21-yard line.
Second and 29.
Second and 29.
Bus ride.
Well, like mark it, second and 27. Second and long. Extra defensive back in for Oak Park now. Jay Carr dropping back, fooling nobody. He's looking to pass under a heavy rush. Dumps out a screen pass to Zurawski on the left side. Zurawski out across the 25 to the 30. Gets a block there from Jeff White, and he is wrestled out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. And in on the tackle, number 22, Eric Stanley. Also number 29, Quaison Crosby in on the coverage. A heavy rush for Oak Park, and that set up a screen to Zurawski to the left side. Picked up some nice yardage, but he's still short of what was the original line of scrimmage. 15-yard gain. Third down, 12 yards to go for the Hilltoppers. The ball at the 38-yard line. Well, Oak Park threw in a heavy rush. Now they'll be back looking for a pass on 3rd and 12. Offensive line in tight. Jay Carr drops back to throw, throwing along to the near side, to the sideline. He's got Stefani, but the ball tipped away. Jason Mitchell, number 14, got his hand on the ball, knocked it out of bounds. The ball falls incomplete. So it's 4th and 12. Eric Stanley in also on the coverage. That would have been a first down plus had the ball fallen into the lap of Stefani, but it's incomplete. So it's 4th down. Now Jay Stefani will stand back at his own 25-yard line. He'll punt. Number 29, Quaison Crosby, and also 22, Eric Stanley, back to receive for the Huskies. There's the snap, almost blocked in the backfield by Dudley. Ball coming down, taken at the 31-yard line by Crosby. Angles over to the near side, gets a good block at the 30-yard line. He's across midfield, the 45 to the 40. It's a foot race, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Looked like Ed Faulkner, number 71, a lineman, came back to make the tackle, and Quaison Crosby is limping. He may have turned his ankle on the play. A couple of good blocks by Oak Park as Quaison Crosby took it at his 31, circled to the near side, and gets all the way down to the 32-yard line of Glenbard West. This is the best field position to start the day, to start a drive for Oak Park.
33-yard punt and a 37-yard return.
A 33-yard punt for Stefani, a 37-yard return for Quaison Crosby. 1st and 10. Now number 53, Matt McDermott, leaves. And Cliff Gardley, number 70, comes into the ballgame for Oak Park. Gardley will line up at the left guard spot. 1st and 10. Brennan Keefe at quarterback, full house offense. Handoff, it goes to Dudley. Dudley hurdles over the line, is wrapped up by Rob Stenman as he crosses the 30, gets down maybe to the 29-yard line.
Rob Stenman.
Bischoff also in on that tackle. The big fullback Dudley just wrapped at the ball, hurdled over a couple linemen, and got a short gain.
A gain of 2 yards on that play.
Second down and 8, gain of 2 for Dudley. Ball marked at the 30, about the 29 or 30-yard line. Jason Mitchell in at quarterback. Hart and Harris in the backfield. Hand off to Iron Harris, and he is hit in the backfield. The ball is loose, a fumble. And it looks like Glenbard West has recovered the ball. And coming up the loose ball, number 41, Jay Stefani. A hard hit on Iron Harris at the line of scrimmage. It looked like Mike Schulte and may have been in on that hit, but the ball was recovered by Jay Stefani for Glenbard West, the first turnover of the afternoon. The ball is at the 28-yard line. It looks like Schulte may have made the hit, but we're not certain. A fumble with 7:38 left to go in the third quarter. Jay Carr handing off to Zurawski. Zurawski stumbles forward, is hit there by Murphy Carroll after being initially tripped up by number 77, Rich Glure. Gets out to the 30-yard line. Gain of a couple.
Picked up 2 on the play, brings up 2nd and 8.
A fumble recovery by Jay Stefani. A big play for Glenbard West as Oak Park was on the move deep in Glenbard territory. Well, that's what happened to Oak Park last week. They scored on their first drive against York, and then they threw an interception in the end zone. Then they fumbled at the 1-yard line on their next 2 drives. And now their first turnover here. Jay Carr gives it to Streitberger. Streitberger finds a small hole over the right side and bangs out for maybe a yard. A couple of white jerseys. Look like Dudley and Rice. I think Tulipano was in on it. Murphy Carroll was there to help out along with Steve Dudley from the backfield. The ball is out to about the 31 as Glenbard West having some trouble grinding it out against that tough defensive line of Oak Park. Only one, 3rd and 7 from the 31-yard line. This is a passing situation. Looks like the backs are going to blitz. And Jay Carr wanted to pitch it out, and it looked like number 69, Dan Voss, got his hand on the ball, and Jay Carr had to hold it for himself and took a loss on the play. Jay Carr wanted to pitch it out, but Dan Voss reached in, grabbed his arm, and Carr did everything he could to avert a fumble, but it's a loss of about 4. 4th and 11. Jay Stefani will have to punt. Ball is at the 15-yard line. Eric Stanley and Chesney back to receive. High booming kick, angling to the sideline, and it bounces out of bounds after hitting at the 40. It will be spotted at the 36-yard line. So a nice kick there by Jay Stefani.
34 yards.
A 34-yard punt, no return. Oak Park will take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line. 5 minutes, 38 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Oak Park leading 6-0 on a first quarter touchdown pass from Jason Mitchell to Doug Amaya. But neither team has been able to do much with the ball since. Brennan Keefe back at quarterback for Oak Park to start the drive. Amaya slot to the right side. Harris and Hart in the backfield. Amaya now moving in motion. Brennan Keefe pitching back to Aaron Harris. Harris turning the corner, runs right into Schulte and is dropped for a loss. Number 77, Schulte, made the stop at about the 33-yard line, and a loss of 3 yards on the play.
Mike Schulte was also involved with that play. A loss of 3 yards brings up 2nd.
Aaron Harris was trying to sweep, and he looked up and saw Schulte, who grabbed him and threw him down. Big defensive play for Glenbard West. Jason Mitchell stands in behind the center at quarterback as the Huskies continue to alternate quarterbacks on every other play. Mitchell fakes the pitch out, rolling out to his right. He is facing pressure in the backfield, breaks 2 tackles, throws it out to the near side, tipped into the hands of Amaya at the 40. Doug Amaya at the 30, the 35. Stefani's the only man back. He eludes Stefani at the 15, the 10, the 5. A touchdown for Doug Amaya.
67 yards.
A 67-yard touchdown pass from Jason Mitchell to Doug Amaya. There's a flag on the play. The ball was tipped right into the hands of Doug Amaya as the pass was slightly underthrown. Amaya took off running, made a juke at the 15 and beat the last man back, Jay Stefani. It looks like the penalty will be against Glenbard West. Roughing the passer is declined, and it's a touchdown for Oak Park, and they are now up 12-0. A 67-yard touchdown pass from Jason Mitchell to Doug Amaya. That's the second time they have teamed up for a touchdown this afternoon. With 4 minutes and 53 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Well, the penalty will be marched off on the kickoff. And once again, Oak Park is going to go for the two-point conversion. Jason Mitchell standing in behind the center as the quarterback. Full house backfield. They'll line it up at the 2-yard line. Jason Mitchell fakes the handoff on the keeper. Jason Mitchell is swarmed over in the backfield as John Lloyd and Rob Stenman came in there to make the hit, and there's a flag thrown in the backfield. John Lloyd coming up from the secondary to make the initial hit and was wrapped up there by Stenman to finish him off for a loss. They did not get the two-point conversion, but we'll wait and see what the penalty is called. Now the officials huddling at the 2. Could be a face masking. That's what the call is. So they move it half the distance up to the 1-yard line. They will do it again. They will try again for the two-point conversion. And now number 12, Brennan Keefe, will line up as the quarterback. So they're at the 1-yard line. It's a 12-0 lead. Oak Park trying to make it 13-zip. Keefe at quarterback. Once again, the full house offense with 3 men in the backfield. Keefe takes the snap. Gives it to Marty Hart, the first man through. Hart bulls his way through for the touchdown. Marty Hart ran right over Jay Stefani, right up the middle for the two-point conversion. And with 4:53 left to play in the third quarter, it is Oak Park 13, Glenbard West nothing. Make it 14-0. We'll be back right after this on Group W Cable. Number 43, there was a jersey change for Oak Park, so number 43, Joe Loggins, making the tackle, and there's an injury for the Oak Park Husky, and they're coming out at the 10-yard line. We're not sure who that is, and the trainer for Oak Park is out looking at the injured player at the 10-yard line. It's a 14-0 ball game, and that was number 27, J.J. Singleton for Oak Park, but he walks off the field under his own power. Maybe just got the wind knocked out of him. Glenbard West takes over, down by 2 touchdowns. It is first down and 10 yards to go. Ball at the 17-yard line for the Hilltoppers. Split backfield of Zurawski and Jaeger. In motion, Stefani to the far side. Make that Cashman was in the backfield. Hand up to Zurawski, breaks a tackle, and he lunges out over the 20 to about the 23-yard line. And making the tackle, Matt McDermott, with some help from Eric Stanley out of the backfield.
Number 53, Matt McDermott with the stop.
Moves the ball out to about the 23-yard line. Pickup of 6 yards. Second down and 4 for the Hilltoppers. Number 30, Kevin Cashman, leaves the ball game as Covert brings in a play from the bench again. Zurawski and Jaeger in the backfield. Carr at quarterback. Stefani in slot to the left side. Scott Wagner wide to the left. Stefani comes in motion to the near side. There's a handoff to Jaeger. Breaks a tackle. Murphy Carroll now wraps him up. And there's a big pile up out near at the 26-yard line. Murphy Carroll wrapped him up by the legs, and then McDermott and a host of other white jerseys came in to help. Got the ball out to the 26-yard line.
Taken down by number 53, Matt McDermott. Picks up 3 yards on the play, brings up 3rd and 1.
A gain of 3 makes it 3rd and 1, and now Jim Covert is shuttling plays with his running backs instead of the flankers. As Jaeger comes out, Kevin Cashman goes back in. We have not seen Streitberger at the running back spot in a while. 3rd and 1. And Carr sprinting out. He's going to try it on the keeper. Runs into some traffic at the 25. Does not get the first down. In fact, he lost a yard. Murphy Carroll in on the tackle. A good pursuit from that left linebacker position. Jason Mitchell coming up to make some help from this secondary as well. A loss of a yard. and that makes it 4th down and 2.
A loss of 1 yard.
So the hitters are forced to punt. Well, the ball's at their 26. Stefani standing at his 13-yard line to punt. Chesney and Eric Stanley back to receive. There's the kick angling to the right side. Chesney elects not to pick it up as there's green jerseys all around him, and the ball comes to a halt at about the 47-yard line of Oak Park. The ball hit the turf, and Chesney was hoping to field it on the bounce, but suddenly there were green jerseys everywhere, and he backed off. So the Huskies will start another offensive drive, this time from their 47.
28 yards.
28-yard punt by Stefani. 2 minutes, 18 seconds left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Oak Park on top, 14-0. Huskies in a 2-way tie for 2nd place in the Silver Division. They are tied with Lyons Township at 2-1, half a game out of 1st. Amaya slowly goes in motion to the near side. There's a handoff to Marty Hart. Breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage. He's out to the 40. Big hole, the 30, the 25, the 20, and he is shoved out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. Marty Hart exploded, came out of the chute, racing all the way down inside the 20-yard, and they're saying he stepped out of bounds at the 17. Marty Hart, a big fullback, usually known for that tough inside yardage, just exploded, turned on the speed, and was forced out of bounds deep in Glenbard West territory. So now Oak Park on the move. They are 17 yards away from the goal line, 1st down and 10.
36-yard run.
A 36-yard burst from Marty Hart. Now Jason Mitchell in a quarterback. Full house offense, fakes the handoff, dropping back the pass, heavy rush, sprinting out to his right, still looking downfield, the throw, turns the corner at the 30, he'll keep it inside the 20, the 15, a flag thrown as he goes in all the way for the touchdown, but that one may come back. It might be an illegal block below the waist, and now maybe a clip. They're talking to Glenbard West, so the penalty will be against Oak Park, will nullify that touchdown run. As the referee going to be marching off some yardage. He's walking it back all the way to the 23-yard line. There's a clipping, still 1st down, but 1st and 15. Ball at the 23-yard line for the Huskies. So that clip nullified a touchdown. Oak Park still in good field position. Well, Jason Mitchell has been the quarterback for both touchdowns by the Huskies. Now Brennan Keefe has a chance to do it. 1st and 15. Amaya comes in motion slowly to the near side again. Brennan Keefe fakes the handoff, rolling out. He's being chased in the backfield by J.T. Lloyd, still on his feet. Coming to the near sideline, he's inside the 20, now cuts the corner at the 10, to the 5, he's got a block, and he dives down near the 1-yard line. He did not get into the end zone.
Brennan Keefe with the keeper.
Brennan Keefe, weaving his way through traffic, got a couple nice blocks, gets down all the way to the 1-yard line. Well, Keefe did the dirty work, and now Jason Mitchell will come into quarterback from the 1-yard line, see if he can go 3 for 3 for all touchdowns.
22-yard game.
A 22-yard pickup on the ground for the scrambling Brennan Keefe. 1st and goal from the 1. Everybody's in tight. Jason Mitchell huddles. Now Mitchell on the keeper, rolling out to the right, throws into the end zone, and is almost intercepted by Glenbard West. But it goes for an incompletion as Brian Sweet stepped in front of Doug Amaya and batted it, almost had the interception, but it fell short for the incomplete pass. So now Brennan Keefe will come back at quarterback. The throw was just underthrown as Amaya was open in the end zone, but it was thrown behind him and thrown low. So now it's 2nd and goal for the 1. Full house offense, Dudley, Hart, and Aaron Harris in the backfield. Brennan Keefe at the quarterback spot, hands it to Marty Hart, and he bowls his way over, hurdles in for the touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown run for Marty Hart with only 58 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. So Marty Hart has scored 8 points so far. He's got the touchdown, And he also had that 2-point conversion on the last TD. And this time, it looks like they will just try to kick the point. A 20-0 ball game. Brennan Keefe will be the holder as Doug Amaya will try to boot the extra point. There's the snap. The kick is up. And it's good. Doug Amaya boots the extra point. It is 21-0 with 58 seconds left to play in the third quarter. We'll be right back after this on Group W Cable. Oak Park has really turned it on here in the second half, and that's exactly what they did last week when they handed York their first loss. Last week against York, Oak Park went out to a 7-0 first half lead, even though they got down near the goal line in 2 other drives. But 2 turnovers gave them only 7 points, and then they turned it on with 14 points in the second half to beat York. And now they're doing this using the same formula here at Duchamp Field. After the ball falls off the tee, now Amaya ready, boots it, high kick, kind of a short one. Taken there by Zurawski at the 15. Zurawski gets a block, and he gets out near the 34-yard line. So Glenbard West will try to get things rolling here on offense. They are down by 3 touchdowns. They had really only 1 scoring opportunity in the ball game, and that was a first half field goal attempt. It was they got the ball at the 37-yard line after a short punt, but the field goal was missed by Streitberger, and that was really their only chance to score today. Try to have a sustained drive if they can now. Jay Carr in at quarterback, as he's been all day. Stefani in motion to the far side. Carr dropping back, he's looking to throw. Passing long to the near side, intended for, it is out of bounds. Incomplete. That ball was intended for Kevin King on the near sideline, but the ball was overthrown. Kevin King had his man beaten, but the ball was out in front of him, so it falls incomplete. Second down at 10. We're under 30 seconds for the third quarter. There you see the offensive huddle for Glenbard West. They've got to throw now. They're down by 21 points. In the first half, Jay Carr threw the ball only once, and it was incomplete. There were also 2 halfback option passes which failed, but now we'll see him go to the air. Jay Carr drops back to throw. Sprints out to the near side, throwing a screen pass to Zurawski. He is hit and dropped immediately at the 38-yard line. On the tackle, Murphy Carroll, number 82. Murphy Carroll showing some good pursuit from that linebacker spot on the left side, making the tackle after only a 3-yard gain on the screen pass. Third down and 7 for the hitters. Jay Carr came into the ballgame, the number 5 passer in the West Suburban Conference, and that was the last play of the third quarter. At the end of 3 quarters of play, it is Oak Park 21, Glenbard West nothing. We'll be back bringing you the fourth quarter on Group W. He had completed 25 passes, 52 attempts for 275 yards. In the conference, he had thrown 2 touchdown passes and was intercepted 4 times. Kevin King lines up wide to the left. Stefani in the slot. Now Stefani goes in motion. Zurawski and Kevin Cashman in the backfield. Carr sprinting out to the near side. He's being chased, and he is dragged down and thrown for a big loss. And there's a flag on the play on the sack, number 86, Doug Amaya. Now, if the play stands, it will be Amaya's second sack of the afternoon. We will wait for the referee's call. Amaya already has 1 sack today. And Rice and Tulipano shared a sack. Penalty is refused. It is 4th down. As a clipping penalty refused, the sack will stand, so Amaya getting credit for 2 sacks today. He had 2 sacks last week against York. 4th down and 19 yards to go. Stefani will get set to punt it from his own 11-yard line. Stanley and Chesney back deep for the Huskies. There's a high snap. There's the punt blocked by Murphy Carroll. It is picked up at the 7-yard line, and rumbling into the end zone for the touchdown is Steve Dudley. Steve Dudley picks up the loose ball and runs it in for the touchdown. with 11:28 to go in the fourth quarter.
Leads by a score of 27-0.
Murphy Carroll blew in, blocked the punt on a very high snap, and that forced Stefani to pause for a moment before he kicked it. And consequently, a touchdown for Steve Dudley, the first time the defense, or rather the special teams, has scored today. Well, it's 27-0. The game pretty much out of reach at this point. Doug Amaya gets set to kick the extra point. The holder is number 12, Brennan Keefe. There's the snap. Now Keefe standing up. He'll roll out to his right. There's a throw to the end zone, and it is caught by Dudley. Nope, they're saying he was not in the end zone. His knee was down at the 1-yard line, so it will not be a 2-point conversion. Dudley's feet were in the end zone, but the ball came down out of the end zone. His knees were on the ground, so that was it. The conversion does not go. It is 27-0 with 11:28 here to play in the fourth quarter. 27-0 Oak Park. We'll be back with the kickoff right after this.
In today's ever-changing world of business, there's only one place that you can turn to.
Well, Oak Park getting set to kick off after their fourth touchdown of the day. 27-0 Huskies. After the blocked punt by Murphy Carroll, Dudley picked it up and ran it in from 7 yards out for the fourth touchdown. They have 3 touchdowns, Oak Park does, this half. Now Amaya gets ready. He'll be kicking off from his 40-yard line. 3 men back deep for Glenbard West. Kick is in the air. And it's heading down. It's fumbled by Zurawski at the 15. Now he picks it up. He's out across the 20. Near the 25, being chased by Amaya. And he is thrown down at the 25-yard line by Doug Amaya. So Glenbard West will start out at their 25, but there is a flag on the play. And looks like a personal foul will be called. And it's against Oak Park. So Glenbard West will get the benefit there. We'll get some good field position. They march it out to the 40-yard line. Illegal helmet contact is the call. The ball is at the 40. Jay Carr trying to get the Hilltoppers on the move here. They're down 27-0 with 11:09 left in the fourth quarter. Carr back to throw, looking out to the near side, and he overthrows Stefani as he juggles the ball and drops it for incomplete. On the coverage there, number 22, Eric Stanley. The ball was a little bit high and a little overthrown. Stefani got his hands on the ball, but just went off his fingertips. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Hilltoppers, still at the 40-yard line. Now Jaeger checks in at the fullback spot. Kevin Cashman comes out as Jim Covert continues to call those plays from the bench. Scott Wagner lines up wide receiver to the near side, and Jay Stefani is in the slot. Carr dropping back now, rolling out to throw, throwing over the middle. It is caught there by Stefani, grabs it at midfield, and he falls forward for an extra yard to the 49-yard line. Pickup of 11 yards and good for the first down.
Eric Stanley made the tackle.
Well, now they're going to call timeout for the measurement. Looks like it may be enough for the first, but the chain gang will come in and see if he got enough for the first. Nice catch in traffic by Jay Stefani over the middle. And there you see the measurement. And he gets it just by the nose of the football. So a first down for Glenbard West. They have not had too many of those today. Cashman back in for Jaeger, number 30, at running back. Oak Park has been dominating this ballgame, especially here in the second half. 27-0 Huskies. They have stopped the running game of Glenbard West. Jay Carr dropping back to throw. He's got some time. Screen pass to Jeff White on the near side. Across midfield, down to the 45, to the 40, the 35, in the 30, and he stepped out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Jeff White was making his cut. There's a flag on the play as there was a late hit after the play was ruled over. Jeff White was trying to cut back to the middle of the field, but his left foot touched the sideline at the 35-yard line. But there's a flag on the play. So he will get to the 35 and some extra yards that the referee is tacking on. It'll be a 15-yard penalty for the personal foul. They march down to the 20-yard line. A late hit on Jeff White. So the ball is at the 20-yard line. And this is the closest that Glenbard West has gotten to the goal line since that missed field goal in the first half. Jager and Zurawski in the backfield. Carr dropping back to throw, looking to the right side, throwing long, and it is incomplete. The intended receiver was Jay Stefani, but he was in double coverage inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Ball remains at the 20-yard line. There you see Jay Carr, number 11, trying to get his Hilltoppers on the board. They have not come close to scoring here in the second half. This is their best opportunity right now. Jay Carr brings him out of the huddle. Hitters line up strong side left with Jeff White, the tight end. Zurawski, Cashman in the backfield. Heavy rush by Oak Park as Jay Carr eludes the rush, throwing incomplete as he just throws it away. Murphy Carroll had his hand on him at first, but then he was chased down. And number 53, McDermott, was right there all over Jay Carr as he threw the ball. Now Jay Carr is a little slow getting up, but he's back in the huddle.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
3rd down and 10. A strong pass rush for Oak Park. That's what they've shown all season long. They put a lot of pressure last week on York, and now today they've given Jay Carr enough to handle. 3rd down and 10 from the 20. Carr back again to throw. Nice block in the backfield by Jay. The pass is intercepted. Intercepted by Doug Amaya at the 30. He's gone. The 40, into the 30. He'll go all the way for the touchdown. Inside the 10, the 5, and Doug Amaya scores for the 2nd time today. Make it the 3rd touchdown. Well, they've scored on offense, they've scored on special teams, and now they've scored on defense. Doug Amaya, an 80-yard interception return. Where did he pick it off?
The 25-yard line.
75 yards?
It's a 75. He caught the ball at the 25-yard line. So it'll be a 75-yard interception return for a touchdown with 10-12 left to play in the 4th quarter. Doug Amaya has scored 3 touchdowns today, twice on offense as a receiver and now as a linebacker on the interception. Now the number 33, Marty Hart, will be trying the extra point, but there's a timeout called by Oak Park. There you see the Glenbard West Hilltoppers with Lake Ellen in the background. That's a beautiful day weather-wise, but as far as the score is concerned, homecoming it's been spoiled. There you see the quiet crowd for Glenbard West. Not too much to cheer about for the alumni. 33-0 is the score. Doug Amaya with an interception return of 75 yards has put this game well out of reach, even though it appeared to be a blowout already. 33-0. Marty Hart is in. He will try the extra point. Amaya kicked the extra point the last time. Brennan Keefe, the holder, at the 10. There's the snap. Hart moves up, kicks the ball. It is up, and it's good. So with 10-12 left to play in the football game, it is Oak Park 34, Glenbard West nothing. We'll be back right after this on Group 33-0 lead over the Hitters on a 75-yard interception return for the touchdown by Doug Amaya. And now, a lot of reserves coming in for the Oak Park Huskies. Number 84, Sean Lawrence, will be kicking off. Lawrence boots the ball at the 40. High end over run kick. Zurawski moves up, takes it at the 15-yard line. Zurawski out across the 25 to the 30. The 35 still on his feet, out near the 37-yard line. Tom Zurawski, a nice return.
Returns the kick to the 38-yard line, and that's where the hitters will take over.
So he returns it to the 38-yard line. First and 10 it'll be for the Glenbard West Hilltoppers. Now Sean Lawrence coming in the play defensive backfield. He's been billed as the quarterback for next season for the Oak Park Huskies. Has played once this year. In fact, he led a touchdown drive. That was against Proviso West in that 36-0 game back on September the 27th. Jay Carr trying to move his Hilltoppers. There he is throwing long over the middle, intercepted. It is intercepted by number 71, Greg Slack for Oak Park. The third interception of the day. Make that the second interception of the day. Picked off at the 48-yard line, and Oak Park will get the ball back. Well, the last interception was returned for a touchdown. In fact, the last two passes thrown by Carr have been intercepted. He has 6 interceptions thrown in conference play this year. Now Doug Amaya trots back into the ball game for Oak Park despite a 33-0 lead. Brennan Keefe at the quarterback spot. Full house backfield. Handoff. And it's Stefani in on the tackle, and handoff number 31, Jim Kinzel, number 37. As Oak Park now going to be playing all the reserves. And Sean Lawrence, number 84, will come in at quarterback. This will be only his second appearance at quarterback of the season. As we mentioned, the 6'2 junior will be leading the drive. Now there's a handoff up the middle for short yardage out near the 41-yard line. We'll see who carried it. A lot of green jerseys in to help make the stop.
I think about 4 yards on that last play. Brings up
Gain of 4. Oak Park on top, 34-zip. A lot of new people into the lineup for the Oak Park Huskies. Sean Lawrence back. He's going to roll out to his left. He's being chased in the backfield. Eludes the rush. Throwing, the left-hander fires downfield. It's tipped in the air and intercepted. It is tipped into the hands of Jay Stefani. Picks it off inside the 20-yard line. There's a flag thrown on the play. Glenbard West, if the play stands, will recover. Sean Lawrence, the left-handed quarterback, fired into a crowd. Ineligible man downfield is declined. So Glenbard West will get the ball at their own 18-yard line. 8:02 left to play in the fourth quarter. As you get a look at the Glenbard West offense. A lot of passing this afternoon. That's why the game is taking a little bit longer than it often does. Both of these teams are usually running teams, but against the tough running defenses, we've seen a lot of passing, especially by Oak Park. Jay Carr pitching back to Zurawski on the sweep to their side, cuts back behind a block. He's still on his feet at the 25 to the 30. Plows forward to about the 38-yard line. Tom Zurawski with second and third effort wouldn't go down and got a first down on the play. Big gainer there for Glenbard West. A couple of good blocks thrown on the play. Rob Stenman made a good block for the hitters. Ball is out to about the 34. It'll be first and 10 for Glenbard West. A lot of substitutions by Oak Park on defense, as we saw in their last offensive series. Hitters just trying to put something on the board for pride. And up to Zurawski, up the middle, breaks the tackle, gets out to about the 38-yard line.
Tom Zurawski tripped up by number 72, Ian Gargulo.
And Gargulo, number 72, in on the tackle. Murphy Carroll, number 82, still out there. Murphy Carroll, he doesn't like to come out of the game. He loves to hit. He'll stay in all day if the coach will let him. And now Murphy Carroll does come out. Number 27, J.J. Singleton back in the lineup for the Huskies. That'll be second down and 6 for Glenbard West. Jay Carr drops back to throw. He's got a little time now. He's being chased. Carr on the keeper. Dives out across the 37. Lost about a yard. And Jay Carr looks like he's in pain. Somebody rolled over onto his ankle. And he's still on the ground for Glenbard West. Now the trainer comes in to take a look at Jay Carr, who is still on the ground for the hitters. Jason Duke will be coming into quarterback. Number 12, Jason Duke in, as Jay Carr is hurt. There's an official's timeout on the field as the Glenbard West coaches and trainer out looking at Jay Carr, who is still laying down on the ground. 6:21 left to play in the football game. It is 34-0. Oak Park Huskies on top. Well, Oak Park is on its way to its third conference victory. They will be 3-1. They will be in a first-place tie with York and Hinsdale Central. Of course, Hinsdale playing at Lyons Township today, depending on the outcome of that game. Oak Park will be 6-1 after this one. They will be tied with York for the best overall record in the conference. There you see the Glenbard West hitters. Jason Duke, number 12, the new quarterback for Glenbard West. They're still taking a look at Jay Carr, number 11. He's been down for quite some time. Another action this week, in case you missed it, York beat Proviso West yesterday 33-14. And in a non-conference game, it was Downers Grove South over Downers North, 7-0. Jay Carr is being helped to the sideline. He's still limping. He's very slow getting up. It is very doubtful if we'll see Jay Carr anymore this afternoon. Carr walking very slowly. He's still not quite to the sideline. Walking very tenderly on that. Looked like his right ankle. Somebody fell on it after the play. And I doubt if we'll see Jay Carr anymore. So Jason Duke, the new quarterback. Duke drops back. He's going to throw. Heavy pressure, throwing over the middle of the field. A nice catch there. Number 22, Scott Wagner. Wagner all the way out. Inside the 45. Goes out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Scott Wagner made a 180-degree turn, made the catch, spun around, and got more yardage for the first down. The ball will be spotted at the 42-yard line of Oak Park. Hitters on the move behind Jason Duke at the wheel. As we say, Glenbard West would love to at least break the shutout at best. Jason Duke dropping back again. Throws a screen to the near side to Zurawski. Zurawski inside the 40, and he is pushed out of bounds down near the 35-yard line. There are about 3 white jerseys in on the play. Number 97, Sean Cullinane, was in on it. Second down and 3 is a gain of 7. Kevin King back into the ball game for the hitters. Number 30, Cashman, goes out. Jager and Zurawski in the backfield. It'll be King and Wagner to the far side as the receivers. Jason Duke at the helm, and now jumping off sides, number 75, Jim Redmond. So an illegal procedure penalty will cost the hitters 5 yards. So it remains second now, but now it's 2nd and 8 for the hitters. Jim Redmond at the left guard spot, playing normally where Ron Kreck plays. Jason Duke handing off to Zurawski, cuts off the right side, slicing out to the 35-yard line, picking up a couple. Tom Zurawski picking up about 3 yards on the play. It'll be third down.
Third and 3.
Third about 3. 5 minutes and 30 seconds and counting. The clock continues to run here in the fourth quarter. Glenbard West trying to move the ball on the ground. Number 88, Matt Bando into tight end on the near side. In motion is Scott Wagner. There's the pitch back. Cashman going to throw again for the second time today. Throwing long and is almost caught but incomplete. He had Scott Wagner open at the 5-yard line, but the ball went just off his fingertips. And the left-handed Cashman just overthrew it slightly on the play, but there's a flag in the backfield. .506 left in the fourth quarter. Jaeger and John Lloyd coming back in on offense for Glenbard West. Zurawski and Cashman will go to the bench. As we'll wait to see what the call is. It is against Oak Park. There's a roughing the passer call, personal foul against the Huskies. That moves the ball all the way down to the 20-yard line. Oh, big pickup there, courtesy of the penalty.
Moves the ball to the 20-yard line.
So it will be first down and 10 at the 20. Matt Bando continues to play tight end on the left side. Jaeger and Lloyd in the backfield. Wagner in motion. There's the pitch back to John Lloyd. Lloyd sweeps on the left side, has a couple blocks, cuts inside the 15-yard line. And John Lloyd getting a nice pickup down near the 12-yard line. They're spotting it at the 13. They're going to call it a gain of 7 for John Lloyd.
Pick up of 7 yards on the play, brings up 2nd and 3.
4:45 and counting left in the fourth quarter as the Hilltoppers continue to grind it out on the ground here. That 15-yard penalty didn't hurt things either on the roughing the passer. Jason Duke looks over the defense, ready to call the signals. Gives the hand up to Kevin Cashman. Bursts over the left side. Cashman inside the 5. Fights his way down toward the 2-yard line. Kevin Cashman, a nice burst. A big hole opened up on the left side. It'll be first and goal for Glenbard West from the 2-yard line. Well, Glenbard West going with some of their reserves, and Oak Park, of course, having the second string in on defense, but nevertheless, a very impressive drive behind Jason Duke for the Glenbard West hitters. Their first long sustained drive of the day. The ball is about at the 2-yard line. It'll be first and goal for the hitters. Now Oak Park bringing back a couple of the first stringers. Murphy Carroll coming back in, hoping to hold him on a goal line stand. Tulipano is back in, number 63. McDermott, 53, back in. Sean Lawrence quickly running off the field. First and goal from the 2. Duke calls out the signals. Gives it to Zurawski, cuts over the left side. Murphy Carroll makes the grab, but he twirls in for the touchdown. And Murphy Carroll pounds the turf. He wanted to stop him in the backfield, but a 2-yard touchdown run by Zurawski. That puts Glenbard West on the board for the first time today. With 4 minutes exactly remaining in the football game. So that ends the shutout. It is 34-6, Oak Park. But Glenbard West puts its first points on the board with 4 minutes left. Now the hitter is going to go for the 2-point conversion. Zurawski and Cashman in the backfield. Wagner goes in motion to the near side. Jason Duke fakes the handoff. Duke on the rollout. He'll take it on the keeper. Duke circles around the 2, and he's in for the extra point. Jason Duke runs in for the 2-point conversion. So with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, it is Oak Park 34, Glenbard West 8. We'll be back for the final 4 minutes of Glenbard football right after this on Group W Cable. Minutes and 12 seconds, resulting in a 2-yard touchdown run by Tom Zurawski. And Jason Duke ran it in for the 2-point conversion. It is 34-8. And you can look maybe for the onside kick for Glenbard West. It's like Cashman will be doing the kicking for the hitters. 37 Jay Charlin comes into the ball game. Referee is getting set. Cashman moves into the ball. Nope, no onside kick. Long boot. Taken at the 15-yard line. Out to the 20, out to the 30-yard line, and will number 40, that was Pierre Williams on the kickoff return. The ball moved out to the 34-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Huskies. Under 4 minutes to play in the football game. 34-8 is the score. Of course, Oak Park will just be trying to run out the clock. Sean Lawrence, number 84, at quarterback, but there's some confusion, and the Huskies will be forced to use a timeout. Well, they're down to a lot of the reserves, a lot of juniors who have not seen much playing time this year, and because of the new personnel, they haven't played together much. There's a lot of confusion out there on offense, and the Huskies did not have enough players on the field. They did not seem to be aware of what play was going to be called, and so Sean Lawrence did the wise thing, just simply use the timeout rather than get a delay of game. Now Craig Chesney leaves the ball game. Number 15 as number 10, Terry Keschner, comes in at split end. A lot of substitutions on both teams, as it's pretty academic at this point with 3 minutes and 38 seconds left to play. There you see some substitutions on the Glenbard West defense, as Jim Covert is going to let everybody get a chance to play today. It's homecoming, and the score is pretty much decided, so trying to give some of the underclassmen, some of the juniors, some playing time, maybe get them ready for next season, get some experience under their belts. And that's exactly what Gary Olson is doing for Oak Park, letting Sean Lawrence now take control at quarterback for the most of the fourth quarter here. Lawrence handing off to the first man through, and Jaeger making the tackle.
Jaeger would be stopped.
And on the carry was number 94, that's Marcel Seefeld, a fullback. Sean Lawrence, number 84, the third quarterback of the day for Oak Park. Seefeld, a 6-foot sophomore, getting some rare playing time for him. Lawrence now hands off again. This time it goes number 37, stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. And on the tackle was Pete Galvin, number 72. And the carry was Jim Kinzel, number 37. Brings up a 3rd and 5 situation for the Huskies. There you see Oak Park. Number 84, Lawrence, with his back to the screen, as the quarterback. Once again, that full house offense, that's what the Huskies have decided to run. Well, Sean Lawrence also plays defensive back and is a split end. There's number 27 on the carry for short yardage. That was J.J. Singleton. Also saw him at linebacker today and on the special teams.
James Singleton with the carry. Picked up 4 yards.
A lot of substitutions. Number 76, Jeremy Bargell, comes out. There's only 2:13 and counting. Getting near to 2 minutes for the football game, as Oak Park just running out the clock. Lawrence takes his time. Hands off again to Kinzel. Hurdles over the line for about a yard. It looks like they get the first down.
Jim Kinzel with the carry. And
That was a 4th and 1, and they decided to go for it, and they get the first down. That's the first 4th down conversion of the day. Now Sean Lawrence is out. We'll see who they put in at quarterback. And now number 11, Patrick O'Malley, is in at quarterback, the 4th quarterback of the day for Oak Park. O'Malley hands it off up the middle. Very short gain. It looks like Marcel Seefeld, number 94, on the carry. Picked up maybe a yard or two. It'll be 2nd down and 8. The ball is at about the 45-yard line of Oak Park. Less than a minute and a half to play. Down to 1:15 and counting. Patrick O'Malley grinding out the last few seconds of the ball game. There's a handoff. Number 27, J.J. Singleton, sweeping the left side for a couple of yards. And not much running room. Be a 3rd down situation coming up. Picked up maybe a couple. 3-yard gain makes it a 3rd and 6 for Oak Park. 34-8 is your score. There you see Patrick O'Malley, number 11, getting his first shot at quarterback of this 1986 football season. Third and 6, full house backfield. O'Malley fakes the handoff. Now he's sprinting out to the near side to throw. Throws it downfield, and he overshoots number 27, Singleton, the intended receiver. Kevin Cashman was in on the coverage. So it'll be 4th down and 6 for Oak Park. And the Huskies will be booting the ball away with 31 seconds left. Now the special teams unit comes on as McDermott, number 53, and Sean Lawrence, 84, come back onto the field. And Sean Lawrence will be the man punting the ball. Back to receive will be, for Glenbard West, number 31, Brian Sweet. And also number 82, Dave Curtis. There's the kick in the air. Brian Sweet settles under it at his 23-yard line, moving to the right side. Murphy Carroll dives at him, misses, and he is finally grabbed at the 25-yard line. Number 10, Terrence Keshner, was in on the stop, along with a couple other white jerseys. Number 10, Keshner, made the initial hit. 17 seconds left to play. Jason Duke will try to do all he can with that limited time for the hitters. The ball is out at the 25-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the hitters. Clock is still rolling. They may get a playoff. Now we're under 10 seconds. They'll have to hurry if they want to get a snap. 5 seconds. Crowd helping to count it down. 2 seconds. 1. They just barely get the snap. Jason Duke running. The buzzer goes off. Duke running around in the background. Duke is grabbed and pulled down in the backfield. No room to run, and that's the final play of the ball game. So the final score here from Dushan Field is Oak Park 34, Glenbard West 8. The Oak Park Huskies move into a first-place tie in the Silver Division, pending the outcome of that Hinsdale Central game. Well, kind of a spoiled homecoming reunion for the alumni here at Glenbard West, but maybe better luck next week. We'd like to thank our crew for today's ball game. Scott Cherry, there's the camera operators, Ann Conway and Ron Yerkes.